Oh, welcome to my channel. I'm Damiano, I'm a musician, producer and audio engineer, and I'm based on the Gold Coast, Australia, but originally from Rome, Italy. I decided to start this channel sharing the journey, sharing what I'm doing and showcasing recording studios. I love visiting recording studios. There are many studios here on the Gold Coast, and I think I'd like to put a spotlight on them. Mindful that being my first video and not being a videographer, it's not the best, but give me time, I'll get better on that. I visited the Amber Wave studio in Mollendiner on the Gold Coast. I had a great chat with Cameron. Cameron is running the studio, is the sound engineer, but is a great musician, along with Jack, a friend of mine who run the studio as well. So if you're into music and if you are into audio and knowing what's behind the scenes of music production, stick around, maybe help me to grow the channel, subscribes and all the usual requests that a YouTuber usually do. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's do it.
Hey, welcome
Cameron.
to the... Come on in.
There you go. Look at these lights. Nice ambience in here.
Yeah, you like it?
I do.
This is actually our live room at this point. So far, what's been through is a lot of drum tracking, a lot of live tracking as well. We've had a lot of bands come through and track live. So we've been able to make videos, put together, and get some really good results of a live performance and still capture that emotion. So I'm working on one right now for a Brisbane band called Houseplants, and then in the future we're going to do one with a band called Cools as an artist. So that will come around September. But yeah, at the moment we're working on one for a Brisbane band, and it's coming along really, really cool. And we're improving every time we do it. So from Tanisha's, it turned out a great result, and now this new one we've been able to add some lighting, so the film looks a lot better as well. Like the sound is still really quality, but the aesthetic of everything is really coming through now in the videos.
Yeah, I imagine it's very nice ambience and lighting. It's good to rehearse as well. I guess you guys do rehearsing in here.
We are doing rehearsing in here, and everyone so far, the feedback's been really positive about how warm it is, because a lot of people with their rehearsal spaces especially are really sterile and just a little PAs in the corner. You got to go set it up yourself and everything, and you're left to your own devices. Whereas here, I'll do the sound for the bands that come through, so everyone can relax.
Sweet.
I do their levels, so it's a really no pressure environment.
And you guys have the speakers mount on the wall.
That's right, yeah. So we got 4 tweeters with 2 subs, so you can still get quite a big sound. And if you want to put everything through the PA, you can, and run off in-ears. We've done that many times before. Or if you just want to have like a nice live with some vocals in the PA, that's fine too.
Amber Wave Studio, how long you've been open now?
Open to our friends and
friends,
yeah, it's probably for about 3 months only. Everything else has been testing, but yeah, around 3 months we've been open doing some recordings now. Not commercially open at the moment until I finish the outside space. But yeah, we're at the moment really modest. We're still being able to turn out really good results because the room sounds really nice. The microphones we have are enough to capture something really special, I think.
Which you're gonna show me later on.
Absolutely. Upon my return, I saw the space with no one occupying it, and I asked and decided to take over, and so far it's been really, really positive.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
Yeah, so yeah, since I was a kid, we've played in this exact space. This is how I learned how to play guitar. All my family can play. And friends alike. So ever since I was a child, I've been living in this little space playing music my whole life. And then it got to a point where I wouldn't say that we're too old now to party like that anymore, but it was to a point where all the parties came down a little bit, and we wanted to make a space where we could capture some of those moments that we had when I was young coming up, because there were so many really special moments in these rooms that we never, just kind of got lost to memory. So we thought of the idea of being able to capture it if we wanted to have a band come in like we used to, and still being able to record and have a good time with people. So it's, yeah, really.
So it's a family home anyway.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, and then anyone who comes in, we like to try and be a part of the family as well.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We want to start a little bit showing what you guys have here.
Sure.
It's we got some cabs.
Yeah, it's just things that I've collected from when I was playing in bands. So the Marshall, it sounds really big and really huge still, and the orange is a nice little change up from that because I like the bite that an orange cabin head can give you. I think the Marshalls are still super warm, super round and full body, and I like the bite that the oranges can give. This TC Electronics is just a bass amp for practicing.
Bass amp,
so when people come to rehearse, oh, the bass player doesn't have an amp, no problem, just put it into that. Same with the guitar players, just put it into these and that's fine.
This is still one of my favorites, the Whammy.
The Whammy is a good time. Again, these are just things I collected when I was playing gigs and everything like that, and I still use these pedals. And when I got a little carried away buying pedals, I used to buy like these weird things that I never really used, but they're a lot of fun.
The boutique ones.
Yeah, almost the boutique one. And this Maleko Sneak Attack's a lot of fun.
What's this one?
So it's like just an envelope filter, and it goes along with this that you can control tap tempo.
Oh, cool.
And then select your curves, and it just adds like, it almost makes your guitar or anything kind of synth-like with these opening and closing of filters, and you can control it quite accurately through the knobs.
You got your talk box there.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually a friend of mine's. He gave it to me, and he never took it back. So
it's part of the family as well.
Exactly. So every time he comes back to see me, he's like, "Hey man, that's mine." There? Yeah, little Jimmy. I thought that was appropriate with all the pedals.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like this lion.
So these have been around since I was a kid, maybe longer. So the lions have been watching over the house for a long time. They're guardians.
You got all your cabling on the floor there.
Yeah, this is just this runs to the control room.
Yeah, sweet.
And each headphone out has a separate mix. So if you have 4 people in here doing the live sessions, each one can have a separate mix.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and then eventually, unfortunately, it only gives us 4. So I'll get one will go out with multiple if there's ever a band with more than 4 members. But yeah.
Awesome. And here you were telling me before the story behind this piano.
Yeah, so this has been around as long as I can remember as well. While we were constructing the room, it was really heavy and we had to get it out of here to construct the room. So we had to take the whole inside out and all the keys off to move it out of the space. And then once everything was done, we moved it back in, and we haven't been able to put the insides back in yet. And unfortunately, because of that, it gives off a really present reverb when you're playing drums or something loud. So we've had to dampen everything inside. But so now at the moment, it's just an art piece, part of the aesthetic.
Part of big art piece with the old sail on top.
Yeah, that's right. Again, these are just things that we collect since I was a young kid, and it's always been in the room. But luckily, it just suits the space really well, I think.
Yeah, it does. Tell me about the center here. We got
this is the house kit.
The house kit.
The house cymbals, again, since I was a kid. And it's really funny when drummers come in, they'll look at it and be like, oh, doesn't look the best, but man, it sounds a lot better than it looks. Every time I have a drummer come in, they're always surprised because it's just, I don't think we've changed the skin since I was a kid. I don't know the last time.
Oh, the skins as well.
Yeah, man, like the whole thing. I don't know the last time we would have changed the skin on this thing, and it still just sounds so nice.
Yeah, but obviously, like if people want, they can bring their own kit.
Absolutely, I'd encourage it to bring your own kit because if you're a drummer, you know what sound you like. Make sure you can keep it to as tailored to you as you want. So this way, you don't come in and just use whatever the house kit is. If you're recording, use your own sound. And then this is our bathroom and shower.
Yeah.
So you can come in and if you're feeling sweaty after a day's work, you can just jump in the shower.
So the snake is rolling on this hook.
The snake, unfortunately, it was a lot longer than it needed to be. Than expected, exactly, when we ordered it. So this snake is going through the walls from the control room. Had quite a lot of slack that we needed to deal with. So at this time, we are just keeping it on the hook. Maybe in the future we could probably shorten it.
That's good. It looks it's part of the furniture.
It looks important. It looks like it's kind of meant to be there, but yeah, we could probably do something about that eventually. But at the moment it's working fine. Yeah, everything's starting to be colored with different colored tapes. So these are from 5 to 10. meters long. Our reds are 5 meters long, and our blacks are around 3 meters long. So that way, when you need to grab a lead in a hurry, you can just quickly know what size you're getting. But that's still in the process of
organization of an engineer.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm trying to get it all.
Your course at the CIE.
Yeah. I finished that actually now. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got the piece of paper and everything. Yeah,
sweet.
That was just a music production course. Yeah, that was good. I just when I got back in the country, I needed something to do, so I decided to do that really quick. And now. Between the studio, I'm now currently working for an AV company in Brisbane doing sound and lighting, or learning as well. Learning a lot, pretty much, to do sound and lighting. And then on the other side, I play a lot of gigs as well, just acoustic.
Nice, I like the
this one.
Other piece of furniture, but this one is the best.
Yeah, so we built this. I got this idea when I was working a session in Airlock Studios in Brisbane with a friend of mine. And they had something similar like this, and I thought it would be a great tool to use for our studio to keep the microphones out. So all it is just 4 bits of wood in the bottom on wheels with a lot of PVC pipe, 100 mils, that can fit our mic stands in, all nice and neat.
Love it.
Because you go to universities and studios, they'll have it dumped in a big chest that all get beaten up, whereas this, they stay out of the way, easy to get, and they fit all sizes. As long as they're 100 mil wide, you can get the microphone stands in there.
Very useful.
I think so.
All right, so there's another door that brings us to the control room.
Yeah, come on in.
All right.
With every light that we have on, usually I'd work a bit more darkness, but today we decided to
give me more light.
Exactly, give it a little bit more light, because a lot of
Jack.
There's Jack. A lot of the artists who come through love to have a mood, right? You need to have the right mood, and these lights sometimes can throw people off, so it's good to have the mood lighting so you can feel relaxed and comfortable to create. So I've had quite a few people come through where now we can turn the lights down, still have enough to work, and it's super comfortable for them. Sure,
Tell me about this massive desk. It's pretty big.
It is very big. Eventually we'll get filled with quite a lot of things, I'm hoping. Originally it was on this wall here. It was originally fit in this wall, but I thought for mixing purposes it was a bit too cramped.
Oh, you got a cloud there, but
Yeah, we do have the cloud here, but it was just a bit too cramped within these corners. So I really wanted to open it up and put it down the lengthway of the room, because the further the sound travels, it hits the wall, and further it has to come back. So at the time, it was on the shorter side of the width of the room, so now we put it down the length.
Talk about the racking factor. Let's go from the top. Your machine, I see you guys got the Mex Studio.
Yeah, so we've got the Mex Studio, the 10-core, the Apollo Twins.
10-core is all maxed up. What's the specs on the Mex Studio?
The 10-core, 1 terabyte memory.
Oh, cool.
And 32 RAM.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Beast.
It's beasting. Yeah, it's not the highest specs one, but it's definitely more than enough than we need. Here.
Cool.
And then we've got the Apollo Twin to run all the UA plugins that we have at this time. But at the moment, so we're using all of our channels from this PreSonus. This has the preamps inside. It's just the PreSonus.
How many channels is there?
So this is just 8.
8.
2 in the front, 6 in the back.
Yeah.
So when we want to, if I wanted to use a preamp from the Apollo, I can plug it in, but it doesn't work so well. I'm saving up at the moment to buy the X8P.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we can start using a bit more Apollo equipment.
Daisy chain it and
exactly. But this is working really well for us at the moment. Where it's the PreSonus, it's another PreSonus, the preamps here, the Digimax that just runs 8 preamps. Everything's running off this PreSonus clock. We figured out because this struggles to clock with the other interfaces. So when that happens, you get sample pop, and it's impossible to get something really clean. So now everything is running off this Digimax clock, and it's sounding very clean without any sample pop or anything like that. But if you did have something like that, it is difficult to get this to route to anything other than its own clock. So it's working pretty well at the moment. But yeah, so that's 8 channels here and 8 channels there. So we have 16 channels to record.
I can see the snake coming out of the wall.
Yeah, it's in the back. So that's, yeah, one thing eventually we'll have to clean up and make sure it looks a bit tidier.
Cool, nice big screen now.
Yeah, this is just a TV I had from my family home that I had laying around. But it's working.
What you guys running on Logic?
At the moment, Logic. We have Ableton available as well, and then Pro Tools is coming within the next few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
you're gonna get it.
Yeah, because also Jack's very comfortable with Pro Tools.
Oh, okay.
And I would also like to be a bit more comfortable with Pro Tools.
And studio monitors, you're running on the Rocket 5?
Yeah, I'm pretty used to them because I've used them my entire life. Yeah, like they're the monitors I bought, so I'm super comfortable with how they sound. I know like how bass heavy they get, and so I know not to go overboard with these things because they accentuate it quite a lot.
Yeah.
And they're on these ISO acoustic stands, which really reduce the rumble that they hold if you just had them on anything. So these are really great for eliminating unwanted or unnecessary frequencies. But yeah,
you got quite a bit of treatment in the room anyway.
Yeah, quite a bit. I think the usual rule is about 2/3 of the room you can treat. If you go overboard, it's too muffled. So you need to leave a bit of live space.
But as soon as I got inside, I was like, oh, this is nice, sounding good.
Yeah, exactly.
Control room.
I think it's got a good amount. And then diffusers of the flights up on the roof as well. They're just diffusers as well. They seem to be working all right.
What's the material of the panels?
They're just like a carpet from Spotlight.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, but inside is just rock wool fiberglass that we've covered up in sheets of plastic, so it obviously doesn't get out into the air.
Oh, here we got some guitars.
Yeah, the electrics
couch
are
where
in...
Jack was sitting.
Yeah, so our electrics are in the cases up the top here.
Oh, okay.
So we've got like a Nord stage piano up on the top there. The bass is the one that's actually out in the live room at the moment. 2 more acoustics and 2 Telecasters up in the corner there that I used to play.
Nice. So you're a guitarist mainly?
Mainly. For our dynamic mics, we just keep them all separately here, where we just got a lot of 57s, our Sennheisers for our toms, the 904s, our other Sennheisers, the 609s for our cabs, the Beta here for our kick, and then a lot of miscellaneous mics that kind of either get left at this place since over the years, or that just gets bought for no reason. We keep our condensers here, where we have the Aston Spirit, which is a really nice bright mic that I like a lot. Good for a room. I don't mind it for an acoustic sometimes, and for vocals as well. It's just a good workhorse. We have the NT2As for our overheads that we use more often than not. They sound really nice as a great pair of mics as well. We also have the Rode NT1000, which is just that lower in the series, but still a great mic. And then we have these ones here, which are Rode's NT5s, which are the small diaphragms they like to use for acoustic guitars, some hall mics. They just capture a lot of detail because being small diaphragms, so they're really good to use. And then we also have the Rode K2, which I exclusively just use on vocals at the moment. It's pretty much quarantined as a vocal mic. Yeah,
nice valve, warm mic.
Exactly. And we're a really big fan of Rode here. They're an Australian company, and their customer service is just immaculate. Like I was saying, one of the NT5s had a roll-off in the low end and wasn't capturing a lot of the high end, and the dBs were way down as a matched pair. I contacted Rode. They said send me the wave files. I sent them. I sent both the pair off, and they sent 2 brand new ones back, free of charge.
There you go.
So
thanks, Rode.
Thank you, Rode. They're an amazing company, and couldn't speak more highly of the quality of the product that they do.
You guys, tell me a little bit how people will find you once you start open the doors for commercial use.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few ways that I've kind of mapped it out in my head. A lot of it at the moment is just word of mouth, and luckily through Jack and his many projects that he has, we've been able to connect with like a lot of musicians that way. So a lot of word of mouth at the moment. But once we go commercial, I have 2 friends that own their own company making websites. We'll open the website up, be able to promote that through social media. we're making our portfolio at the moment, which is why we're taking a lot of friends in for really cheap, making the best product we can. So when we do release commercially, we already have a portfolio to put out to the world and put out to local musicians or anyone. As well as I go to as many kind of gigs as I can to see local musicians, and I will tell them guerrilla marketing about the space, and if they ever want to come in, they can rehearse, they can come and record just to see what it's like, handing out cards, because we do, with the job doing sound and lighting, I go to a lot of people's gigs, and I get to have a talk with a lot of musicians as well, and then go to local gigs as well and get to have those conversations.
That works.
I think it's yeah, it works really well.
Yeah. And so if people needs to contact you now, or if they want to have like a little rehearsal, Instagram, the usual social media?
Usual social media on everything, yeah. So we have our Instagram, our Facebook, and the email is all attached with that. And then as well as a phone number should be there as well. It's until we open commercially, we won't be searchable on Google.
On Google, okay.
Until we open officially. Yeah,
awesome.
That'll be the way.
Well, Cameron, thank you so much for the tour.
My pleasure.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
My first one.
Yeah, my first one too. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe in 1 year you come back and then we see where we're at.
We'll see.
I hope so.
Alrighty, thank you, Cameron.
Thank you very much.